guess we'll call to order the November 3rd, 2025 Select Board meeting. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I hope everybody is an hour back. Everybody's on time, so that's fantastic. So
Yeah, the only thing that wasn't is our,
I know.
it's all up to you, Steve. You're broadcasting is all people are gonna know.
yeah, you have to record these notes really well.
The key idea is, should I suspend it on the regular sitting?
Yep, couldn't agree more.
You know, Steve called me and said, what are you wearing?
Red or black, green.
I was in the office doing something, right, with that.
She's trying to get
She's
that,
trying to, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna,
get started with some of the basics here.
So if you want, I can get some, couple cans in the string and put in each house.
There you
there
go.
you go.
Like that.
All right, we'll start with the manifests.
Make a motion to approve the manifest of 10/28/2025 and payroll of 10/29/2025.
I'll second that.
The motion and a second. Any questions or anything on it? No.
There's another one. Are those
I
minutes?
think those should be minutes.
Yeah, minutes of October 20th.
Yeah.
Right, and we don't have the 27th.
Yeah.
So motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Are you marking the who's?
Yeah.
Hey, there we are.
Oh, we're live.
And
Okay.
then the minutes from the, sorry,
No, I was gonna say,
Yeah, there
hopefully,
was a delay.
yeah. So this works out. Okay.
Good job.
minutes from the October 20th meeting.
Any corrections? Comments?
Line 93, I believe Mary Friend Gray is actually known as Marion Friend Gray.
Correct.
Spelled M-A-R-I-O-N.
Okay.
Her name comes up twice on that line.
So where, just anywhere it's referenced should just be Marion.
Correct.
About line 48, discussing the Route 4, and it says /52 design, it probably should say 4/152 design.
Yes. That would be correct. So Emmys, there's a couple places that's in there. It should be Emmys with an I.
So E-M-I-S or apostrophe S.
Okay. And, where was that? Mr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, I think it was the
Should
last
be-
page it referred to him as Steve.
You're right, it should be Frank. Under public comment, 317.
And then also,
Understandable.
321, I don't think it was Adam Ryan that stood up and spoke. I think it was Doug Cummings, wasn't it?
Adam spoke at one point.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Maybe it
Adam
was the last-
speaking.
it was the
Yeah,
last
but
meeting, I'm sorry. I'm thinking after the
Okay.
last meeting. Yep.
I
We don't
do
have the
think it
minutes for that
was,
meeting.
it was Doug Cummings that had stood up and made those two comments there. And you said, why don't we just make it easier for, well, I'm pretty sure Doug said those. Adam was sitting, with him.
Anything else?
We've been moving to what meeting?
The 20th, October 20th.
All right, I guess I will make a motion to approve the minutes of October 20th as amended.
Second?
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I assume we should get minutes from the 27th, Ellen, at some point?
I don't have them in draft form yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, so
It was on the,
I left it on there just in case they came in over the weekend, but
it was on the to-do list, so just checking.
Reports from assigned boards and committees and departments. Mr. Welch, you wanna start?
Sure. Not a whole lot, new at the recycling center. I mean, we're still struggling with the, getting rid of our plastic, but, it's the way it is. So until we have a plan. As far as recreation, we have to get a, touch football tournament coming up on Veterans Day, November, 11th. Starts at 9 o'clock, so if anybody's interested, come on down and be at Marston Field. What else we
They
got?
are accepting adult teams too, so. You guys wanna play, you can play.
Right, tackle for adults, right?
Oof. I played last year, and that's what it felt like.
So yeah, they also have a council training on 11/12. Wrestling's gonna start up again on November 18th, and the Legacy Lunch will be November 19th. And as we reported the last meeting, the holiday parade will be December 6th.
What time?
I don't think we have a time
Usually
yet.
10
Usually like, is it 10 or 9?
I think usually everybody starts lining up at 9:30, and then it's at 10.
Takes off at 10.
We also have dodgeball and donuts going on Friday, 11/21, down at the Town Hall Gym, 5:30 to 7:30. And I think that's the only thing new there. I know after-school program's going well, so I think we're in good shape.
So I think we need to add and start the process from now to the next meeting, but we gotta do something, we gotta figure out what we're gonna do with the plastics, have either, cause pretty soon snow's gonna fly and then they're either gonna be,
Yep.
they're just gonna be in the way, they're gonna be whatever, but there's a couple of options that have popped up, but I mean, we didn't put on the agenda, so we can't like fully dive into it. But if we have the full cost, like what we're gonna do, and then we need to do something next week, either storage, like, but we gotta make a plan here or something instead of, we're getting into the snowy season and.
I do have a little bit to report on it in my report.
Sure.
We'll wait for that. We won't
Yeah.
steal your thunder.
Please do.
Mr. Decker?
CIP just met right before this meeting. We have finalized the CIP for annual report. We need to do basically the support document that goes with it. But we will wait until, that'll get sent out to budget committee. We could go over it here too. I mean, we did some of it last week or through the budget stuff. But that's available. We did not schedule a meeting to do that stuff, but we'll figure that out. Planning board did not meet. Whatever week that was that 2 weeks ago? That was canceled. They are meeting next week. There is a,
12th.
yeah, that's so next Wednesday. Facilities committee has not met since the last time discussed, but we are meeting this Thursday. And I did get a call from Tom Duffy and Neil Santos that the PLIA was denied that grant loan thing. Yeah, I guess they placed 11th out of 12. So they wanted to kind of run some things by Ellen to see what potentially for next year to
Yeah.
try and reapply or whatever. So
they did come back with some really good feedback for reapplication for next year.
Okay,
So
good.
that's
So you
helpful.
saw it? Because they were supposed to send it to me and they haven't sent it to me.
I haven't seen it, but I did talk to, Neil and Tom both called me. I wasn't available, but I can't remember who I actually called back. It was the Clean Water State Revolving Fund for, updating the watershed plan. So what they're looking for right now is whether or not we would be able to kind of roll that forward and reapply for next year, where technically there's no obligation on the town for 2025, because if we were awarded the grant, then we would have had to apply for the principal forgiveness loan. But because there's no transaction, technically, can we just move forward with the voters' support and do it in a future year and try it again for next year? So I think the way that the warrant article was worded, because there was so much specificity to it, that I don't know that we'll be able to lapse it forward, but I'm gonna look into that further.
Right. Otherwise, we'd have to put it on the warrant article again.
Right.
So, that's what I have.
Thank you. The master planning subcommittee did meet 2 weeks ago, and we finalized our agenda for the community workshop, which is this Saturday from 9 to noon, right here in the community center gym, where we'll be focusing on natural resources and housing. Based upon the discussion throughout the agenda, there's definitely some competing demands and ideas around both. So I would encourage people to go and, learn more about what those two chapters specifically are, but also about, I guess tell the subcommittee about how you feel about the importance of natural resources in our community to you, and things maybe that we should consider. And then same thing with housing, getting some ideas on how potentially we could get creative with encouraging or, changing our zoning process possibly to encourage more housing in Nottingham, if that's what people want. So again, share your ideas. That's what the event is for. And there will be a review of the past master plan, so people understand sort of what's involved in the whole process.
Now, the master plan in this, I'm still trying to learn, is like a rough roadmap guideline, but there's no, does it have any, I don't say regulatory teeth? Does it it doesn't set anything in motion. It just kind of says if we've had these subcommittees, they help guide where we might have future zoning might say, oh, this is what we found from the master planning committee. This is what we're going to put forward for warrant articles to try to change.
So it's actually
something.
the planning board's thing. So
Okay.
we actually go to a planning board meeting. It's a public hearing to present, and then recommend the master plan. And there's key components for each chapter. There's 7 or 8 different chapters, and there's specific recommendations. I think this is the big thing, is there were a number of recommendations from the last master plan, but the problem was there really wasn't a whole follow-up. So some great recommendations, and you start reading through it and it's like, oh wow, actually we would still recommend all of these things that didn't get implemented 14 years ago, we consider implementing now. So I think our goal is to develop, sort of action committees beyond the master plan to actually work on implementing or making sure it makes sense to implement potentially some of these ideas. But yeah, there's nothing in there. We're not researching to see, okay, can this zoning ordinance actually work in our town, to make sure that it's too detailed.
And all the zoning ordinances go before.
Right.
For the warrant article. So,
I was just curious, how does the master plan actually fit into stuff? Because we talk about it, we're trying to redo it, and, obviously 14 years have changed drastically in the town from,
Right.
where it's going.
So each chapter in the master plan, and there's recommendations, and some of those recommendations might be directly to the select board. So then again, that action person or committee has to push it towards the select board to say, okay, how could we potentially implement this, or does it make sense to, do you go to the voters, or?
Okay. I'll have to get more learning on that.
It's been an interesting process, right, Steve?
It's a great, the idea is brilliant. Now, as you were saying, how do you make it implement?
Right.
Because the town has changed since 2011.
A little bit,
We're now in the $1 billion category.
right?
We had a tough time with those commas last week.
Well, you should have seen it, because the valuation from the 2011 master plan
Wow.
compared to what it is now.
Wow.
Almost $1 billion more.
Just remember, in 1950, the population of Nottingham was 566 people.
which is, seems like quite a bit, actually. You think back, that's pretty good size.
Mr. Sherland?
I mean, I'm gonna let the highway talk when he gets up here, kind of give us a feedback on where he's going and what he has for his budget, so I'm not gonna, but hear it from him.
Okay, fair enough. I got a couple of things. I met with Chief Woodman at the police department last week. She's still very happy with their stable staffing situation, although they are down one part-time officer. This month, they switched from providing a monthly report to the select board that was a criminal offense statistics, and they changed it, which I'm really happy with, to a what's called for calls for service, CFS, which my consultants tell me is the gold standard of how to collect data. So it's switching from something that just says how many murders, how many assaults, how many whatever, to something that breaks down what the actual service time is. For instance, things like domestic calls, motor vehicle assistance, property checks, civil processes, vandalism, medical assistance, trespass. It's a much more useful tool to help us know what resources the police need and where they should go. And particularly for small towns like this. I mean, they need that national data of actual criminal offenses, but something like this monthly calls for service is much more useful. So I have a copy of that. It's lengthy, so I didn't make a copy for everybody, but I have it if anybody would like to. Monthly.
That will be monthly.
That's all I can handle. Yes. So I was pleased with that. I think it'll be very useful to us, and it'll be useful in the future for making the case for various budgetary reasons for the police. Again, the Facilities Committee meets this Thursday, 5:30 in Conference Room 2. And I did note when I got on the town website that the agenda and minutes links for the Facilities Assessment Committee actually takes you to the Select Board agenda and minutes.
Yes, and that is correct. I did just set the page up when the committee formed like their 2.0 version. The prior meeting agendas and minutes were all kind of cycled into the select board because it was a select board subcommittee. So if you go into the respective years, I think the committee formed in early 2023 or maybe even late 2022. And you just sort through those minutes, you'll see facilities
Super,
advisory.
thank you.
Committee.
I didn't do that. The town facility, I never say this correctly.
Facilities Assessment Advisory Committee.
Advisory Committee, which has been renewed.
So I tried to distinguish the difference between the two committees because there was the formation committee, they did their final report, and now
Yes.
we've revamped it to kind of see where we're at and what we need to continue to prioritize. Those are now on, those will all be included on that page.
I'm sorry? I do, I'm the liaison to the police department, so I meet with Chief Woodman, whenever. But the Facilities Committee did take a tour of the police department to assess the facilities, right? Two separate things, it's confusing. The Budget Committee met last Thursday, October 30th. Ellen reviewed the third quarter with the group, and they got their copies. They got to look at the 2026 budget worksheet, operating budget. And Ellen, I think, did a great job of emphasizing that we squeaked through this year because there were unfilled staffing positions. It's clear, answered a bunch of questions, but it was really their first chance to look at everything. We saw the school default budget as of 10/27. We got enrollment figures, and Andrew Corey, the new superintendent, introduced himself to us and talked to us. He's very enthusiastic, he's well-spoken, he's retired from previous education jobs, and he's now our part-time SAU 107 superintendent. He's got an ambitious plan of getting things in order over the next couple of years to be able to hand over a nice, clean budget and all. And he mentioned to us again, what we know is that space is a big issue. If you don't know, some of the classes are being taught on the stage at the school, and the stage is right next to the music room. So that's not working out very well. I wanted to mention a big thanks to Julie Friend Gray and also the Celebrate Nottingham group. Julie took it upon herself to restore the Veterans Monument, which is across from the library. And today she was digging her little heart out in the cold weather. And Celebrate Nottingham, I'm not sure exactly how much was given to them, but some seed money. Do you know, Steve?
Well, we're looking to $250 if it's okay with the board.
Okay.
Has
So
to go
I
through the
jumped the
board.
gun. And she's putting in some cobblestoning. She's cleaned the monument, and I believe she's gonna do some plantings and mulching there. And I believe she's hoping to have a ceremony there
Okay.
next Tuesday.
Piggyback onto that. Well, again, I'm thrilled that it was done last time about 10 years ago, and it really needs work.
Yeah.
We are planning at 9 o'clock on Veterans Day to have a program to rededicate the monument and also honor veterans. We
So-
have veterans who are going to speak. We have representatives from the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts that are going to be there as part of it. And I'm working for other things to occur, including we have, for people remember, Judith began, played the trumpet at the July 4th. She will also provide musical support for that event.
So that event is Veterans Day, this Tuesday, the 11th at 9 AM?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Thanks.
At the monument.
At the monument, and again, if you've driven by on Stage Road and probably not noticed it, it's directly across the street from the library entrance, at the front of the old town hall and old fire station.
And honor two veterans that died in World War II.
Correct, that were from
World War II, so.
Nottingham. So thanks to the Celebrate Nottingham group, and thanks to Julie Friend Gray, who's really working hard. The last thing I need to mention is that the library is having a fundraiser, the annual Festive Scottish Holiday Tea, which is December 7th, from 2 to 4 PM in the community center. We use the gym, and tickets are on sale now. And that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Ellen.
I don't want him to fall and get hurt.
You're right.
Pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter.
And that brings us to you.
Okay, I apologize for not giving you a formal report in writing. It was a very light and I will say non-existent correspondence week for the select board, with the exception of notice from Eversource that they were doing some brush trimming or brush and tree trimming along Priest Road. And that was in between your last official meeting and this one. Not to say that there hasn't been any correspondence. I have been dealing with a multitude of RSA 91A requests that have come in. But nonetheless, some announcements that I can share with you. The auditors were here today and they will be back again tomorrow for a partial day to wrap up the 2024 audit. They were here doing their field work in May, and now we're just to the point where, okay, it's time to wrap up. They still needed to go through the library information, which they've been able to do most of that remotely. So I am very hopeful that they will be wrapped up tomorrow. With that being said, the Form MS 535, which is the financial status of the budget, or like the financial status of the town, I should say. That's an annual form that we have to file with the New Hampshire Department of Revenue. It's due April 1st. Unless we're fiscal year, then it would be due September 1st. But typically, because the town doesn't have its annual audit done until late spring, sometimes May, June, here we are finishing up in November. That April 1 deadline is always just kind of deferred until they get to the point where they're able to report on the town's finances. The state uses the form to help figure out our local tax rate, so that's why I'm putting a little bit extra pressure to get this done. So I know that there are a lot of people out there inquiring when they're gonna get their tax bills. We can't do that until we set the tax rate with New Hampshire Department of Revenue, and we can't get to that status until we have all of our required forms filed. So tonight you'll be signing the MS 535. And pretty much just in summary, for people that aren't familiar with it, it's used to help set the local tax rate. It keeps the town's finances transparent. It talks about what the town actually spent money on, what revenues came in compared to what was planned through the budgeting process. It lists what the town owns and owes and summarizes any debts, which we are very fortunate. We have no further long-term debt. We resolved that last year, so.
When did that do, and so also, it's been filed or it's due?
It's been submitted, the select board will be signing it tonight. And that should be the last form that's required to get us into that queue for setting the town's tax rate.
And that's the MS 535.
Correct.
Thank you.
So again, for those awaiting their tax bills, the town's final tax rate has not yet been set with New Hampshire Department of Revenue. This typically occurs this month annually, sometimes earlier, sometimes later. It reflects all voter-approved appropriations of the town and school meetings, as well as the revenues received by both the town and school. So that will be coming. We will make sure that we get sufficient notice on the town's website. Once the rate's set, I think the tax collector needs a certain period of time to print the bills, stuff them, and get them mailed out. So I'll probably say like a 10-day turnaround. We are close. Tax bills can't be due sooner than December 1st, but we have to allow 30 days. So we're beyond that point. They will probably be closer to the end of December, possibly the 1st of January, depending on when we get into that tax rate setting process. Just to kind of recap off of what Steve said about the recycling center, we are still working on solutions on the baled plastics. Obviously, we had a couple of options where we could have a vendor purchase the plastics. We were going to eat any revenue that would have been generated through the hauling costs, but the issue is the vendor would not accept the plastics in the bag. They've baled them inside plastic bags. So we would have to break all the bales, all 52 of them I think we're at now, and rebale them. So whether or not that was cost productive to do that, the labor involved, and then that would take them away from other things that they're doing at the recycling center. So that is pretty much off the table right now. One of the options that Steve had presented was to bring in some storage containers, store it till the plastics market comes back, with a hope that it does. And then the third option is I've reached out to Waste Management to see what they have available for disposal methods and what that might look like. We would probably have to tractor trailer it, and then, what happens with it in the end is probably not in the best interest of the Nottingham recyclers, but we just have to outline all of the costs, and we'll pull that together definitely for something to take place before next meeting, because as Matt said, we are
At capacity.
and approaching winter weather. So and the older baler that's in the back right corner of the facility, that broke down last Monday while they were baling plastic, and it got about halfway through, so they ended up spending the rest of the afternoon pulling that out so that it could be looked at. Fortunately, it was just loose wiring, so it was a quick service call, and they were able to get it back up and running before they reopened on Thursday. Just a reminder, for all the town offices will be closed next Tuesday, November 11th, in observance of Veterans Day. And on last Friday, the statewide fire ban was lifted for those that were not aware. I pulled the urgent alert down from the website
When was that?
last Friday.
And then we had 2 windiest days of the year.
Fortunately. During last week's budget presentation, Tracy Black, our tax collector, announced that she will not be seeking re-election in March 26 when her term expires. Additionally, today, Emma Breslin, who's now Gulbranson, notified the town that she'll also be stepping down as the deputy tax collector. It was just a little bit more commitment than, especially during the summer when she's busy with the recreation programs. So I just wanted to put it out there to the public that that position, the tax collector position, along with other elected offices, will be open to interested candidates in January 2026. But also tonight, for discussion purposes, as we're talking about the budget and enrolling into warrant articles, not that it's monetary consideration, but I know that it's been presented to boards in the past of combining the town clerk tax collector position as an option. It would be one individual elected to both positions concurrently. In many towns, it becomes a full-time salaried benefit eligible role. The deputy position for both offices could also be combined into that. The approach is used in several towns, a lot of them we're kind of on that cusp of population between 2,500 and 5,000, and then 5,000 and 10,000, but it is more often that you'll find the combined positions rather than the separated now. I think it's easier to fill the one position than the two, but whether or not, our present town clerk would be interested in that, I don't know.
Did she bring up to you the whole records? We were talking about the record retention,
Yeah.
because Marion Frank Gray had sent that email.
Yeah.
About that she's supposed to be the,
She is
Master of
the
the
keeper
records.
of all official records, correct? And I think just because of the way the building is laid out and the transition between the positions, it's just kind of piecemealed everywhere. And that's why I have Marion kind of focusing on like what we do have and how do we need to better preserve it and make sure that it's either in an appropriate climate controlled room, or we start working towards preservation efforts. There's ways that you can digitize it that will suffice to meet those statutory requirements to keep the records, but I opened up the can of worms by having Marion start on some projects, and I'm like, oh, well, that's technically something that the town clerk should have, but the records are just everywhere, so.
okay. I guess when we're thinking about the position though, if that's another
Harder.
responsibility and
Yeah.
part of their, is how much time.
Correct. The second option is, I know Gene Reed was the tax collector in 2020. Fortunately, he was able to, I guess, kind of coach Tracy into taking the position. So just with most elected positions, when you get to the point of their question about whether or not to fill them or not, there is also the option by warrant article that you could appoint a tax collector. So it would be appointed, you wouldn't have to worry about, what am I gonna do in 3 years when this person decides not to run? So, I mean, that is another option for you to consider. I just wanted to put this on the table.
That would be a warrant article?
Warrant article, correct. So either to combine it with the town clerk position or to create it, or to change it from an elected to an appointed position.
Okay.
I'm done.
Any questions? That's it?
Unless we want discussion on that.
No? I mean, I think we just need to look at the numbers and the amount of time.
Yeah.
Again,
And I think we'd have
if you look into,
There's a lot to look at for it.
There is, especially where Lori's term's not up in 26 either, but I think with any change, I think what you do is if it is accepted, then it doesn't go into effect until the next year either, but we would have to make sure that the timing would fall appropriately with her election as well.
Yeah, unless we go the appointed way, and then could always do the appointment based on. So,
Which I
Right.
could definitely be advantages to appointment.
Yeah.
right.
Somebody with a little bit of experience, or not that Lori doesn't have experience, but
But if you also go in the
Further
appointed position, the town clerk is the one with the residency requirements, but like, let's say that there's a tax collector working in another town part-time, and they wanted to take another part-time town on, then they could do that. So you might be able to
So-
find somebody in an area town that's experienced.
It sounds like that would give us a lot more flexibility.
It was appointed, be appointed by the board?
Correct.
Thank you.
If they're elected, then they have to be,
You have to get somebody to run every 3
Anyway.
years.
right. You would have to find somebody who's interested, and it's hard
It is.
getting people to run for some of these things,
they
Tracy's
have
got
to be
it.
bonded, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
sure,
The town takes care of that.
right, but still, they have to.
Tracy's done a really good job at it coming up to speed, especially she started right when COVID was in full force. So like she was very limited to the in-person trainings. She had to do most of it web-based, but it takes a good couple of years to understand what you're doing. I mean, it's not only just the collecting of the tax, it's the leaning, it's the deeding process. It's working with the mortgage holders, it's closing companies. There's quite a bit to it.
The taxpayer.
And there's certain times of the year that's busier and you have to be.
And there are very specific deadlines that
And
things
there-
have to be done by.
And those times are probably very busy,
July and December specifically.
yes.
That's too much to think. A lot of choices.
Sorry for dumping on you.
No, that's,
Alright, so we'll have to address that as part of our warrant articles, just determine how we wanna
To
move forward with
right,
those.
Move forward.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Or who knows, in January, you might have multiple people running, you don't know. But
Right,
Right.
just as we know that there's a change coming,
mhm,
prepare for it.
And it's
Would
tough
we-
with the tax cap, because now if we appoint somebody, it's gotta fall within that % tax cap, so. Because it'd be a benefited position.
if we decide to go that route.
Right.
If you combine them with the town clerk, that would be the only, it doesn't make sense to have the
No, if it's
the
just,
tax collector, it's an appointed position, be full-time. If you can do it as an elected position,
Is there enough, I can't remember the overlap, but like, let's say we are proposing a warrant article. And then we open up the window for people to sign up for elections. And we're like, oh, we got 3 people.
Yep.
Is there enough time to pull the warrant article so we don't end up with a warrant article that we don't
Yes.
end up wanting?
yes.
Okay.
Yep, there is enough time. I
Can't
think
remember
it's,
the-
I think it's the
I
third
don't have
week in
that.
January
It's
that the
gotta be
candidacy
close.
period opens up.
yeah.
It's like a week.
But furthermore, if you did change to, like, it will be open for an elected 3-year position for 2026 to 29, but if you did move forward, if you did decide to move forward with an appointed position, that wouldn't take effect until 2027 anyways.
I'm just making sure, like, we had the road issue come up last year and somebody, after the person proposed it and it got submitted and he was like, I don't want this anymore. I was like, well, it's too bad, it's
Too late.
submitted,
Yeah.
it had gone down the road.
At that
And
point,
it
it
was
was
his
too late,
warrant
it was
article.
deliberative session at that point.
so no matter what, we're gonna have to have somebody fill
Step
it
forward.
for a year minimum.
But if so help me understand, so if somebody runs for the 3-year position and the town elects them for that 3-year position, really that would go until 2029.
Correct.
Okay, you said 27.
She's saying if we went and
If you
changed it
decided
to
to
an
move
appointed
forward-
position,
Right,
If you're successful in having a candidate that wants to run for election, then potentially they have a 3-year term. But if you decide as a board, maybe it would be in our best bet to make it an appointed position, not to say that that person couldn't be the appointed position. But if that was successful in passing in 2026, that the elected person would be elected for 1 year, and then the following March, it would become an appointed position and for whatever term you decide.
okay.
Yeah, so it's just an
So that's
extra
a
layer
challenge.
of complexity.
Anything else? There was communication that we received from the Department of Transportation in regard to the intersection.
Yes, so Bill Lambert from New Hampshire DOT, thank you for bringing that up. He reached out to me, somebody was it Bill Lambert? Yes, it was Bill Lambert. Somebody had inquired on the road safety audit that was completed for the intersection of Deerfield Road and 156 and Ledge Farm Road. When the road safety audit was presented, it didn't warrant anything, but they've revisited it and now they're talking about a potential 4-way stop. So there's obviously the stop signs at Deerfield and Ledge Farm Road, so there would be 2 signs on either travel lane of 156 or Raymond Road. It's the intersection of Ledge Farm, Deerfield Road, and 156. They're proposing a potential for a 4-way stop at that intersection. He was on vacation when I had responded to him, and I just told him that you meet the first and third Wednesdays, but I would almost guarantee that you would be open to listening to that
Right.
conversation. There was a fatality there in 2023, I think was the last one, and that was not the only one.
I thought there was only one.
It was there was the motorcycle accident, right?
Right, that's what I heard. It was a
I think-
motorcycle accident, but I didn't know
I
when
think
it
there
was.
was
I think there was something else,
couple of years before.
Yeah, it might
Like
have
within
been-
the last 10 years. A lot of close calls, I think.
But yeah, I mean, I would think we'd
Plenty of
want
close calls.
them to come in and
Dicey spot.
discuss that.
Yeah,
I'm not,
And I
I'd
think
love to hear
it's-
what they have to
it's
say. I'm
Owen.
not sure a four-way stop there would,
Yes, Owen Frangray was the one
Owen, I
that
think, yes,
initiated
looked
the road
into
safety
that,
audit
yeah.
for the town.
Yeah. It's a.
I would like to hear what they have to
corner,
say.
yeah.
So as soon as I have that
okay.
See some-
brief
Thank you.
availability, I'll get it scheduled.
Thanks.
And then on to assessing.
Don't you
This is
wanna-
usually your thing.
Do you wanna do assessing now, or should we entertain the budgeting
Budgeting.
process for the?
Well, we only have a couple items to get that taken care of. We can
Okay.
go right into the budget.
Sure. So, make a motion to, approve the certification of yield tax assessed for map 40, lot 14, and the warrant for the yield tax levy for the same map 40, lot 14.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And approve the intent to cut on map 51, lot 3, and 3-1.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Sorry, Steve, I just
That's okay.
didn't wanna go out of order and then I
Sure.
forget, so I'm gonna have to bring it up. Hey, we've got about the assessing. Steve, you wanna come up and talk about the highway budget? For 2026, please? How are things going?
Good,
Good. How's the paving
paving's all done.
all done?
Excellent.
We're starting shoulder graveling, Wednesday, as soon as I get the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Crack sealing right now and potholes.
Okay. Any, other than paving, anything else from 2025 of note that you'd like to kind of bring up for the highway department?
Well, there was some talks of the bridges.
Box culverts.
Culverts.
Mhm.
And what we were gonna do with those, and if we were gonna maybe hold off on some paving and try to get one of those off the list. Hopefully, I'm not sure, right? As far as to put an actual number on it, it's kind of hard to know. You know, like, stuff.
Mhm.
Which one would you do? Hate to put you on the spot, but what are our choices?
Riverdale.
Yep.
We have the, Ferry Road
Fairview Road.
through there,
Kelsey, you know what the other road?
Ferry
There we go, okay.
and Kelsey. Yes.
No, it was Cooper Hill, the box one, right at the beginning where the,
Right at the town line.
right where it comes through the,
I was hoping to stay.
Old
with
Mill
the
was.
Section was,
Yeah.
would maybe build us a bridge and move everything downstream. They did look into it and decided it was just too expensive.
Of course.
Too bad. Too bad.
I was hoping. Kelsey.
Thank you.
so the intersection adjustment at Route 4 and 152 would not impact that box culvert. Under, we would still be responsible.
Yeah, they're just gonna make a,
I know it kind of fixed some.
yeah,
Big jog.
unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, culvert and paving you're talking about.
Culvert.
Culverts.
Culverts,
Culverts
box
on all-
culverts,
Culverts on all three,
yes.
thank you.
Okay.
So I just brought up with Steve, you know, we had a couple long listed CIP items But those were originally like being completely bid out and they were at extremely high dollar numbers, like $1 million for a box culvert or something like that.
Yeah, close to
Where-
800,000 at minimum.
So like Steve and our crew, potentially we would have to rent some equipment and buy the box culvert. We could potentially try to bring that in. So I was just having him start to roll the numbers as we get to the warrant article. Instead of, we've took a big chunk out of some bad roads. We were kind of waiting on Smoke Street to the developments to kind of finish up. We took care of a bad spot on Francesca and a few others and stuff like that. It's like maybe we pause for paving one year and try to knock out a box culvert internally. But he doesn't have the full numbers yet, so it might not.
Yeah, we need the specifications for the box culvert before you
Right.
even quote it out.
Did he do a little more engineering so I can get some real prices and?
And if it doesn't work for this one, if we at least have an idea that this is what we want to do, we should at least be pushing now. So we get all the engineering and be like, okay, this is roughly what it would cost. We would have a real dollar number and somehow be able to, because leaving on the CIP at $1 million to do completely externally seems kind of ridiculous. If we can do it for, I'm not gonna quote, let's say $400,000 or $500,000 internally, and we just don't pay for 1 year to try to take care of. I mean, the one on Kelsey has been there forever. I don't know the status of the other ones in terms of if the road has been narrowed or anything like that, or if it's just they're degrading.
No, but, yeah. Yeah, problem first.
Could you create a warrant article to, like, so for this year, I have a feeling for 2026, we wouldn't have any type of engineering or numbers ready in
We
time.
actually already took care of it.
Oh,
Back
okay.
in 2023, there was one warrant article for 3 projects. It was the design for $35,000 apiece for Kelsey, Cooper Hill, and Berry, and then there was the library engineering.
Right.
So that project is already well underway. The engineer CMA has already done most of the legwork. I just don't.
I have the rough plans, I just don't have anything etched in stone yet. And I met with them this spring.
Yeah.
And I think snow had just melted, and we walked around and we checked all 3, no, we only checked 2. And, talked about some changes here and there, and that's the last I've heard on that.
Could you explain what a box culvert is versus a culvert?
It's,
Cement,
yeah, it looks like a bridge almost, except for it's not a full bridge with steel and pavement. It's just kind of either a large box or a U-shaped structure to allow a higher flow of water than a regular small culvert. The one on Kelsey has been degraded to the point where we consider it 1 lane of travel with Jersey barriers and everything else that are lining it up, and it's just.
and actually the head walls are the biggest problem with that one right now. The bottom's kinda, but the head walls, and if you were to try to rebuild them, it would probably just be no longer.
Is the Berry Road culvert the one that's near the wetlands? Is
There's
it-
two, yeah.
you- There's two, yeah.
It's actually both. They're both in the same condition.
That would be an expensive one.
I think probably the most expensive one would be Cooper. And that's only because there's a house pretty much attached to its head walls. So,
Which is the highest priority, Kelsey? Which is the highest priority, Kelsey Road?
when it honestly, at this point, it's right at this very moment. Yeah, maybe,
I would think Kelsey.
but I don't know.
Just, yeah,
By the time we
traffic
actually be able to do it, I don't know at that point which one would be.
Yeah.
Right, well, right, but
At
given
this-
what you know today,
Yes.
They're all kind of neck and neck.
No.
I guess I would.
Kelsey by an edge,
Yeah, just by a
by
hair.
Okay.
And your question is if you can make a warrant article vague enough to be either paving or box culverts, or?
No, I was thinking if we don't have numbers
Oh,
in order, or, specifics in order to put a warrant article together for 2026 is, can you at least set aside money into an expendable trust fund to be used for it in 2027.
Can always establish one.
Right. I guess that's my question, is at least we still do a little bit of both, maybe do some paving next year, but then you set aside the majority of the money for it to be used in 2027, and then you set aside more money in 2027.
There's just things that I drive closer to the Kelsey one more frequently, and I see it, and I've seen them on the CIP list just dragging on,
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, the number was, I'm like, this is ridiculous, this can't really be this much, and
Yeah,
Oh, I know.
that was from,
It's good. That's like $2 million.
what's his name?
Sean,
John.
yeah, but then again, that was a large swag, fully just handing that off and giving it to another
Exactly.
company, and they just,
He had reached out to me actually, on,
when you were wearing the hat the other way.
well, yes, the other, about doing them, or doing one of them,
Mhm.
back then, and, you know, they were just kinda, you know, yeah, this much, of course, he's got other numbers too, but
And then how about, I guess, for paving projects, what would you consider high priority for the next roads?
it's always hard in the fall, because you never know what's gonna happen over the winter too.
Right.
But
But I mean, we're just catching it. We haven't done any paving. This is the first paving we've done in a couple of years, so.
Yeah,
traffic wise, I'd really love to see Ledge Farm finished.
they are lighting the torches and sharpening the pitchforks as you just
I
said
know.
that.
I know the amount of traffic
Scenic
that,
road.
that goes over that road.
Right.
Is just a lot of traffic going to Epping shopping and everything else, and it's just, I mean, I know how often we grade it. The mag has helped a lot. It wasn't the ideal year for mag, because we got so much rain in the spring that I didn't wanna put it on and lose it. And then
no rain.
then we got no rain, which we did put some on, but I didn't hit it as hard as I probably should have the first time. Because I didn't know if it was gonna keep raining, you know, and instead it turned off, you know, bone dry, and I had to hit it again. So I should have probably hit it once really hard like I would in the spring, and I don't know, but
I'd keep that road graded.
And how about repaving?
repaving, I'd have to do some more checking.
Okay. I think it's one of the big things, obviously, when thinking about the warrant articles, is which roads do we wanna focus on? If-
Right,
if
there's
we
gonna be a
wanna-
dollar amount.
And so we also have the library parking lot.
Yep.
There's, community center parking lot. So we have a couple things that,
Beginning of the fire department could use a little help.
right,
Yeah.
you know, that, yeah, what did you call it, the first several feet of a, like Priest Road there, the aprons or whatever?
Yeah.
Yep, up to at least the fire department entrance there
That
would
would be,
make sense.
well, and if we're gonna go around and just do paving, I'd love to do the ends of all the dirt roads, to where they meet up to the pavement. It's just, it's unsafe for the grader.
Right, that was on our list
Yeah.
last year and got,
2 years ago.
or 2 years
Yeah.
ago and got
Yeah.
whacked.
It's just, yeah,
When's the 152 bridge slated? Is that next year?
No.
They pushed it back, I think 2028.
and you know, when
152
they
bridge?
do that, we're gonna be having to grade the road more often.
Yeah, I know, but I thought they
Yeah,
only pushed,
2020.
I thought they only pushed that a year.
Like-
2026, I'm sorry, 2026.
It's next, it was gonna be this summer,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was next.
now next summer.
Yeah, so it's next year.
There was a delay in the
Sound
acquisition.
positive about that.
Right, so assuming they got the acquisitions, they can start it after the school year.
Yeah, we haven't received any updates since the delay.
No,
And they
Right.
didn't sound very positive on that.
So,
I'm holding my breath.
I mean, we patched and repaired Smoke Street to the point, but with that's a major route that goes through
Yep.
the second half from basically the pit on is gonna need to be done. I mean, I've seen like on Patriots Way and stuff starting to crumble a little bit, similar to, Francesca, but we got that low point on Francesca. and I
Worst
think-
of Francesca done.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's just not any traffic there. Not a high
Patriots is
priority.
slower. I mean, so I'm just trying to think, I take all the random roads I usually can all over the place. And then Cooper Hill, the end of it, but the really bad spot's not even ours.
No, that's Northwoods.
Yeah, the box culvert to the end of the road, and that's gonna be bypassed in
Right, that's good, yeah, so,
4 years. Who knows, yeah, that's gonna be a while.
right, but still,
Is that one of those roads where we would try to do the whole thing if we did it, or some of the roads, like if it's a small piece,
If we can get, I mean, yeah, we might be.
We've tried to get
Northwood
approvals.
to kick in, we do it with our paving, whoever does it, and Northwood picks up the bill maybe.
What about the far
Townsend.
side of Route 4 that I try not to forget about, but there's a bunch of places out there that the eastern side of Route 4.
There's some spots over there that need some work to do.
So, I mean, I guess we're gonna need numbers quickly, or a priority list of either small amount of paving, and then we put 100,000 away for culverts in 2027, and then plan, and then hopefully the engineering leads us to something that we can get one of them done, and then we just got a long-term asset plan our roads as well, as, you know, pending any road, other stuff that pops up, but I mean, most of the roads Deerfield Road has pretty much been all addressed. There's a few little spots, and Stevens Hill, the only section we cared to do on Stevens Hill,
Right, I wouldn't put any more money in that road.
but hopefully.
You gotta
we
look at roads that are mostly highly traffic areas that could benefit the most from a paving.
And then the Ledge Farm thing is definitely gonna
probably
be up to
Ledge
the,
Farm and,
Well, but even as far as if you want to resurface,
right,
look at a road that's highly used and in desperate need of
Right.
resurfacing.
or at least the sections, if there's worse sections of Ledge Farm, if you come up with, get a quote for like the next mile from where we've paid and paved, if there's a spot that's just heavily treed and stays wet and whatever, so I don't remember if it's the Epping side stays better or not, but. Are you fully staffed still, or are we still down?
We're down one man now. That just came into effect 2 weeks ago. Maybe this is the second week. Yeah, I guess this is the second
21st.
week.
Have we had any that's posted?
I have one candidate, meeting with him Saturday morning. Better chance than I thought, so.
Okay. Yeah, definitely coming into winter, that just changes our full-time line, and then that kinda gets moved down to hired equipment line, and you just can't pave as many feet when you pay somebody else to do it,
Mhm.
or plow, not pave.
Yep.
Plow as many feet when somebody else is taking care of it.
I had a part-time guy for one of the trucks. Well, 2 part-time guys for plowing, to trying to keep our trucks full this year, where they weren't last year. And one of them is still good to go, the other one is not, so I am looking, right now, I'm still looking for 1 full-time and 1 part-time. But, potentially have a full-time
Okay.
that's interested.
And then so for your budget for 2026, you're looking for level funding from this year. Fuel costs are way down. You're like
They've cursed us.
60% of the budget. Driving downhill?
Post whenever you can.
Yeah.
Idling.
Do you think you have enough salt to get us through if we had 2 or 3 storms between now and the start of the year?
We're gonna probably need some salt.
Magnesium chloride's in that line, so that's why it looks a little bit.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna flip that to the gravel line, cause it's actually saving us gravel,
Okay.
you know? So we might flip that to the gravel line.
Do you know
It's,
for,
like 13,000 and change.
okay. If we could just try to get that updated later, just so we're not like, Steve, where's all this salt?
Yeah, if you have a couple storms, you're gonna be out of salt.
What's the mix that you use, sand to salt?
1 bucket of salt to 2 buckets of sand. So 1 yard to 2 yards is basically, I mean, yeah, it's probably a better way to say it.
So, yeah, so a third salt.
What's that?
1/3 salt.
Right.
So there's one, it's just got 1 bucket.
We do use straight salt here, the fire department and the school. But other than that, everything is done with a mix.
Except for the dirt roads,
And the dirt roads are done with straight sand.
straight sand,
Right.
so that we don't melt and
Right,
make
we
a.
don't wanna lose the
make a mud
frost and
pit.
make potholes.
Equipment wise, how trucks, everything like that, we got the 6-wheeler back, so I mean, we're
6
We're up.
wheels back, it's
we
also
have 3 10-wheelers, 1 6-wheeler, and then the 2 small trucks.
2 small trucks, and then the service truck.
Yeah.
Everything's going right now, the 6-wheeler needs exhaust work. That's just fixing the, exhaust, but,
Okay,
That's a shame. Had it all that time, they didn't fix the exhaust.
it's actually under the cab back in the back, and it's a new hole. Yeah, no, it just,
and then I have to ask, where is the grader?
grader is, I'm hoping on a boat on its way here. You're talking a new one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, the one
I'm
that,
hoping on a boat on its way here, but I don't know for sure.
At sea?
In the Pacific? Someplace in the Pacific?
hopefully not in the
You
Pacific.
probably just get notified when it comes to the port, right? You just get notified when it leaves, and you get notified when it arrives in the port.
Supposed to ship, wasn't it the end of
September, August.
September? I think it was supposed to ship the end of September, and they thought it was gonna be
Slow
delayed a month. So that would be now, that it's supposed to ship.
So we haven't heard that it's actually been shipped yet.
I do not know for sure, and I do not know how long it takes it to swim here.
Wow.
Because it's heavy, it's really tough to swim with that one.
But I can, for your next meeting, I'll have a better update.
Okay, yeah, if you could just call them and find out, just,
I intended to today, and that's, I figured you may ask.
What's the grader made?
That one is made in,
Should be Japan, I think, or is it
No,
Korea?
Komatsu.
it's Komatsu, but it was made in,
Sorry. I don't know. Come on, whatever.
Yeah.
It's Japan.
Now I'm curious.
I don't know.
hang on, I'm thinking.
So it's in the Pacific, it's over there.
I'll ask
He's
Mr.
not.
Google.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter.
but yeah, if we can get an update,
Yeah.
that'd be great. Any other
Where
questions
do you talk
about highway before we move on to solid waste department?
Japan.
No, it is.
It is
No,
Japan.
that's not- Yeah, that's not what this was.
Oh.
That's what it is.
The factory is.
Taiwan.
Oh, do you wanna talk about the,
Yeah, I was gonna see if you wanted to mention this. So Steve, you had
It
approached,
says Japan, Americas, and Europe,
Yeah, it has something to do.
Oh,
so
really?
segueing onto equipment. Before we go to the,
Komatsu?
you wanted to talk about the possible trade of the small cat excavator for a larger Komatsu wheeled excavator.
Sure.
And I will let you tell us we have the quote, we have the allotment. I did send them a picture.
There's one in the front page of the signature. I only printed one, saving ink.
yeah, I got
If
a
anybody
picture
wants
on
a
my
difference
computer.
of what the unit is.
It's beautiful.
did you wanna pick?
Oh, you should go ahead, your thoughts and what the proposal is.
I know, just
Well,
in case you want a
we'll
fresh look.
start with the reasoning. Right now, we're ditching basically with the 550 and the 350 because it's very inconvenient to load 10-wheelers with the mini excavator. So obviously we're not hauling the loads we could be hauling. So that's one reason we'd like to swap. Two, the rubber tired one, we don't have to haul it around with a trailer, we can pretty much drive it to where it's going, it's kind of like the backhoe. Not like driving it back up on the road, but it's, you know, quicker to. Three, we were made what I think was a pretty awesome deal. We're getting the machine with a mulcher mower for it, 4-foot mulcher for brush, and like the state, you've seen the state mowing the sides of the road, same mower. A grading bucket, a brand new digging.
Oh, so the mulcher is something that could,
Yes,
okay.
yeah, so it makes the machine even more useful for us. A grading and a digging bucket, a brand new digging bucket. Plus now they've added a quick coupler, so we can possibly a hydraulic quick coupler, and definitely a mechanical quick coupler, which is just, you know, turning a bolt. But so you can switch from one attachment to the other without have to have two men and drive pins and line everything up, which takes time. What else are they gonna add? Oh, they're gonna repack. There's 2 cylinders that are barely seeping and install new injectors in the motor. There's quite a bit of stuff they've added actually since I talked to them about the purchase. Also, they've let us have it. We've had it for probably 3 weeks now, and we've been ditching with it, and all of a sudden our ditching is going a lot faster. You know, we did we call it Long Hill, but Deerfield Road up to the intersection to the farm, and all the way down Ledge Farm on the hot top in 2 days. We've been on Stevens Hill Road most of the summer with the Mini. Just a lot of material. There is a lot more material up on Stevens Hill Road. There was a lot bigger windrows. It's been a lot longer since it's been done. So, I mean, it can't really compare completely, but I can tell you it's a lot faster with a bigger bucket. And when you can load a bigger truck.
Did this one have a thumb?
It does not.
Okay.
And if we were to put a thumb on, it's probably something we'd just build in-house and put on and just have it be with a dead man instead of hydraulics.
I just
Simply,
know when you were doing like the rock wall reconstruction.
yep, it was handy on our Mini.
Correct.
But it's in the way more than it's handy on that machine. It just doesn't fold up out of the way. I'd probably just build one ourselves. I mean, I've built them before for my own equipment, and they tuck up better out of the way, you know, because when you make it for the machine versus just one out of the box and you put it on the machine, they're made to fit multiple machines, not always, you know what I mean?
And if it's a manual thumb too, you don't have to worry about the hydraulics being in the way.
And that machine has plenty of options for plugging the hydraulics in for it. It's just that with a manual or a dead man on a thumb, you can actually crush stuff. You can actually, you know, they're just less, you plan your work a little more. You don't go, oh, well, I'm just gonna move this rock and go back to digging and then move another rock and go. You line up all your rocks for one day and you move all your rocks maybe, or, you know, do your wall or whatever. So, because you're not gonna actually get in and out of the machine. So yes and no. I mean, good, bad, less expensive, yes.
We don't have a thumb on the,
We do on the Mini
no, on the
backhoe.
backhoe.
No.
It does.
It does?
Backhoe's got a thumb.
Okay.
That's how they were using it to pick up the trees when they
Oh,
were.
yes, it does. Yeah, you're
So-
right. Yep.
They were doing
There's
tree
an option
work
there
and.
too, so
Yeah.
to move some rocks around.
Yeah, we could. Yep, you're right.
Okay, no, that makes me feel better that it
That's also how they make large refrigerators, small refrigerators
Yep.
up at the,
And that's how they load them into the container. Yeah, I know.
they just
Good to
kinda crush
I
the
am having
refrigerators.
problems
and-
getting teeth for that machine though.
It's
What's
not,
that?
I am having problems getting teeth for that machine.
Oh,
Really?
I got 4, it's got 5.
Why?
I don't know. And we had to order them. It's been, the poor thing's been half the summer missing 2 teeth.
It's rough.
man,
I don't know what the problem is, but we ordered 5, they sent us 4. 1 got lost in shipping.
how do you lose a tooth and shit?
I don't know, it didn't swim well, I guess, I don't know.
It's not Amazon.
so just for, where it's again, a Komatsu, it's a wheeled excavator, it's a
Yep.
larger machine.
Yep.
They have a purchase price of $84,800. They have a trade-in allowance for our CAT, the small rubber tracked excavator, for $52,000, leaving a balance of $32,800. And then we have the block grant 401 funds, which we have used for replacing, like when the F-550 went out, and I think the sander, we've done a few things, but there's a balance currently of 32,000, we'll just say $350 for round numbers. And
It's amazingly
pretty close,
A little
close.
short.
we're a hair
Wow.
short, but he's also understaffed, so he's got a little bit of room in his budget. But then for the block 401, Ellen, do you wanna
Sure.
pontificate on these?
Yeah, I gave you a quick summary just because most of you weren't here when we received these allocations. There was 2 allocations in 2022, which was known as Senate Bill 401, and then a second in 2023 known as Senate Bill 270. I just refer to them loosely as 401 because that's where it originated. So pretty much, long story short, there was additional surplus in the state's budget during those 2 fiscal years. So they reallocated it using the Highway Block Grant Formula Appropriation A, which is based on 50% of municipal population and 50% of your class 4 and 5 roads throughout the town. So collectively, we received, the first allocation was $129,777. Second allocation was $47,011.73. As Matt already stated, it's been used since 2022 when we received it, and we did go through the required public hearings to receive it. We've done some tree removal that was necessary during storm damage. We purchased the utility truck. We lined it, we put a plow on it, and there's been additional tree work. We purchased the chipper, the 2014 F-350, I think it is. 11, okay, 2011 F-350, the one with the dump body on it, and a sander for it. So, as Matt said, there's $32,000 remaining in there. The funds, the intention of the funds was to supplement, not supplant or replace any of your local budgeted items. And they're specifically to be used for repair and maintenance of class 4 and 5 roads or for the purchase of equipment necessary for those repairs. So it does fall within the category. Again, and just to put it out there for disclosure, this is not money that was raised by taxation. This was, again, surplus funds from the state that have been reallocated down to the towns.
So my question would be, if we do this, are you gonna miss the mini?
And that's, the reason we brought it on, so the guys, before I come to you guys and talk to you guys, I wanted the guys to use it and tell me what they thought. And the general is no, they don't think they will. Possibly, maybe on the camp roads. There might be some times where we go, be nice to be smaller. No, it just means, I mean, the same machine will still do it. It just means we have to, instead of squeaking over to one side, we may have to find a wide spot to let a car by. Which, usually if we have 2 or 3 vehicles, we have to kind of do that anyway if we're in a narrow spot. We're trying to get most of the ditching done on the camp roads so that we don't have the big berms on the side of the road, so you can find a spot to pull over with the equipment, and we're slowly getting there. But no, generally, I
And that's
believe everybody's on board at the shed and seems to think it's a step forward.
What was the purchase price of the mini? when we bought it, do you know?
I was looking it up real quick,
It was a warrant article and it came with the trailer, so you gotta, which isn't. We're keeping the trailer for
Right.
material, and this unit can be,
It can be, if it had to go across town, you could load it up and haul it across town.
That trailer haul it.
It's a 20,000 pound machine, it's a 20,000 pound, I mean, within,
looks like we might have purchased it around 2019, so I can pull up the town report and find out.
Is the whole thing on a turret like the,
yep. It's an excavator just on rubber, dual
right,
rubber tires.
Right.
Oh, and the rubber
Yeah.
tires are,
calcium?
no, foam filled, so they don't go flat. They're, well, whatever's in them,
Yeah.
they're solid.
Yeah, I got the picture right here. man.
Oh, you do, sorry.
Yeah, I'm looking on my computer.
this is my excellent photography skills.
I have your
Beautiful
excellent,
color.
I got your excellent photo right here.
Yeah. You can see the mulcher is the red thing in the back.
No,
How well can you see
We'll
that?
send it to you, Steve.
You have to come up
The
here.
mulch is
What's the
brand
mulcher?
new.
This is the
They
mulching
installed
head.
it, mulched the entrance to their road, and that's all it's done. And on the mulcher, the teeth are actually turnable, as well.
And that's good because we could use that for cutting and stuff like that, and
So I think generally, like the highway, the mowing that we had done this year was basically a large brush hog.
Right, they're
Where
doing,
this is more, this will take like trees down.
this'll actually
Really
take
clear.
down a 12-inch tree.
yeah.
You can start at the top and just, granted, it's not the proper way to do it, it's slow. It's gonna take you some time to do it, you're better off to cut it, put it through the chipper, but it will do it.
looks like hell,
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
but I mean,
but it doesn't.
It's not
but
aesthetic.
as far as like,
You don't wanna be around when it's happening.
yeah, no, there's wood kind of flying. But, I mean, that's what the state's doing on the sides of their roads, cause they just let them
Oh,
go
yeah,
too
it is.
long.
Yeah,
You know, and now it's just so much brush and,
that's just
Just
do
mowing it
tall
down.
trees, yeah, I know.
but you gotta get it back to mowable, let it come up as saplings, and then do your roadside mowing.
You doing a hot lap?
Keep it,
Can I have this picture?
You
There you
can,
go.
you can have the picture.
I thought you were just bothering Tim.
It's an excavator, but it's a wheeled excavator instead of a tracked excavator.
That looks pretty good.
It's
I
like-
want one.
It'll be fun to drive.
This has got less hours than our,
This actually has more
no,
hours.
it has,
This is an older unit than ours,
Are you
it
okay?
is,
but
it's been all gone
Yeah,
through.
it's
I actually,
beautiful.
when I was in Deerfield, I rented it for the town of Deerfield. And we'd had it, I think, 2 different years for a couple months each time, or at least a month at one time, and then I think 2 months the second time.
So 2019 warrant article 11 was 155,000 for the package of the excavator with trailer. And that came out of unassigned fund balance.
there was some contention when this one came up, and they were like, you want a backhoe, you don't want this, and then we ended up, and they were like, no, we want this, Sean really wanted it, and then 2 years later, we bought the backhoe. But we bought it for the recycling center. But we still have that as well, which can do some of the small, if
right, and it's got a
We-
thumb, so
We
that's.
do
that's-
use it, I mean, we kidnap it occasionally.
No, and that's,
That's good.
the intent, I'd rather be used Monday through Thursday doing stuff for you guys, and
Right.
then
right,
Friday, Saturday,
So
whatever.
they use it Monday morning.
Yeah.
So we usually get it after, noontime on Mondays, and then we usually try to have it back up. If we don't have it up there by Thursday morning, they get a little, where is it? So we try to have it back there for Wednesday night.
cranky.
It's good use.
Yeah.
So do you think that the highway department would use that mulcher for some of the roadside mowing instead of doing hired?
Definitely. I mean, we'd still have to do the same roadside mowing, because that's the grass on the sides of the road. But I'd like to get, where the little saplings are,
Right.
mowed back with this thing, so that when we have the roadside mowing done, he can do 3 passes instead of 2, you know what I mean?
Yep.
In spots, and keep it,
I guess my question is, do you feel it's gonna save the town money
I
in
do.
the future by not having to hire versus using our own help and equipment?
I do. I think it's gonna save, even if we never used the mulcher, and we just used it for ditching and our work, it's gonna save there. I think the mulcher is gonna be an added benefit.
Right.
And keep the backhoe at the recycling center, would the mini be better up there?
The mini goes away.
Oh, you could trade in the other one too,
It's dead.
instead.
Hmm.
The advantage of having the backhoe, you do have a bucket that, if
Yeah.
the loader went down, you
No,
can,
and they do use that to put stuff in the bucket and throw it in the dumpster. So, I mean, honestly, a skid steer at the recycling center would be the best.
Isn't that what we used to have there?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
It was a
It wasn't a
telehandler.
skid steer, it was a
a
material
telehandler.
handler, yeah, telehandler. But the issue is that, again, trying to crush and deform like the metal, they were,
Right. Yeah.
basically the machine got broken using it incorrectly.
Right, and they wanted to use the bucket to compress and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not probably gonna.
This machine's definitely bigger and works better up there.
Yeah.
The backhoe.
it would have been a better purchase with another piece of equipment, just not replacing it for.
Right,
I lost it, where would you keep it?
at the highway department.
The highway department.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I brought it for you guys just because obviously the department head feels that this is the best tool for his department to do stuff for the town, and it is essentially all within the purview of his department, of that. We would authorize the fund withdrawal, but I mean, there's no tax or anything like that, or no, it's just kind of a wash, just swap one piece of equipment for another. The other one was kind of small, this one seems bigger, so we have 4 big trucks and 2 tiny trucks, so
And if you're talking about doing bridges, there's one decent.
Mini would probably fill the 6-wheel, you wouldn't have any problem loading that.
You're right at full reach, swinging up, you know.
Even with the
it's-
6?
It works, but you're still, I mean, you're,
Mhm.
yeah, same thing. With the 1 tons, I mean, you know,
Right.
But like I say, if you're talking about doing bridges, there's another,
box culverts.
yes, sorry, box culverts.
Well, even
I don't want to
regular
confuse
culverts.
Steve anymore.
But if you're talking about doing that, I mean, it'd cut you down to only renting 1 excavator, cause you're gonna need 1 on either side. So, or at least typically, that's what I do. When I did the one bit for Johnny, we put 1 of mine on one side and Johnny rented a Komatsu from Heselton's. I think it was Heselton's back then before they were Anderson. And that's when we did the bridge. That one is a bridge. That one's not a box culvert. If I remember correctly.
So any more
Only me.
discussion,
Good
you
cramp
guys?
We should get a standing
Still
desk.
discussed?
So I'll make a motion to proceed, if there's no other discussion, to proceed with a trade of the Town Cat 308 CR mini excavator for a Komatsu excavator with Windmill Equipment Company, with the remaining fund balance of $32,800 to be mostly withdrawn from the Senate Bill 401 highway block funds, and the remainder to be withdrawn from the department.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
I think that 52,000 is a fair trade.
I'm a little shocked by the purchase price though.
Will that include the trailer?
Still shocked.
Yeah, is it?
Oh, really?
Trailer,
So-
Still shocked.
trailer's
That's a
probably a
lot.
$20,000 trailer.
Was it?
So,
There's a lot of money.
Yeah, that was, I do realize the smaller machines for some reason, because the landscapers use them and all that stuff, even used, the small machines bring stupid money. You know, huge machine for.
So I didn't know if you thought it was a fair trade and because of the stupid money that they.
Yeah, no, I think it is. I was actually surprised. I expected it to be a lot less.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
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 So you get to come up with $500 from your budget.
This was really,
We'll have a bake sale.
this was really helpful. Interesting.
And then, now onto your solid waste facility
Yep.
budget. Sorry, trying to keep it moving.
So you've got on the bottom line, roughly a $9,000 increase over 2025. And as we've already discussed, collection fees have been going up. So a lot of this is related to a little bit with payroll.
And I did make a small adjustment to it today, and it was because we just got our facility permits, which are our recycling center stickers that are also used with the town beach. Obviously, those aren't getting any cheaper. I did go with a different vendor this year, but it costs $1,800 for a quantity of 6,000. So with that being said, the supplies line was initially set at like $2,500 because we said, oh, we're not gonna be using the clear bags that we're baling the plastics anymore, so we can reduce that, but we do still need bags. We do still need to purchase those stickers, so I think $2,500, which I think was originally on the worksheet last.
But with the bags though, weren't they paying for
We're paying, yeah, you're
premium for the bags? But they wouldn't need to use those
because
bags.
they were a clear,
Oh,
very specific recycling bag.
right.
But even with that being said, the vendors wouldn't take
Yeah, they
them.
won't take them anyway, so what's the difference?
So we can save some money going back
Absolutely,
to
you
the
could
other
probably
bags.
just get, yeah, either that or actually Steve had a pretty good idea about just bringing in like the wheeled barrels and just using those and then taking the barrels and dumping in, so then you don't have the bag cost at all.
Mm.
You might have to store though before you bail because, so need to go into a bag so you can throw it up overhead and store it till they're ready to.
Well, it depends on how we're breaking it down. If we're still breaking it down just to two
To
different
two.
plastics, then we'd be okay. The only thing the guys, when I talked to them about it, they didn't like about is not being able to see in and see if there was colored plastic in, accidentally dropped in the wrong bin.
Right.
So, well, maybe we come up with a clear rolling dumpster type thing or something that we can reuse, so they can see in them. We'll come up with something.
Plexiglass,
What's that?
plexiglass.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We'd make a
Seriously,
little-
yeah.
Make a little plexiglass with some wheels, I mean,
Maybe with some recycled
Honestly,
plastic.
that's
there
a
we go.
But those are
great
heavy.
idea.
Yeah, the guys
Yeah.
can't lift them, so
That's true, they've
how
got
you
a
gonna dump
sling
them?
them, huh?
Dump it.
Shoot.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll come up with something.
Right.
Just, it seems foolish to buy these bags that we can't, they're
Right,
expensive.
right.
And we can't
Yeah.
use them.
Right.
We use them, but we still gotta dump them out. Well, at that point,
And I
You
don't know
wouldn't
if
need
you
as
remember the conversation, like this came up at the budget committee level 2 years ago anyways about like why that budget had increased so much, and it was because, hey, we're buying this specific, very recyclable
HP.
friendly bag,
Need a
and we
chute.
were purchasing 10 times as many as we had.
right,
We need a chute to just launch them into
Be
the
able to
machine.
use
that
So
would be
we have
nice, that would be nice too, a different layout,
Change the where the,
lay it out a little differently, but
Yeah,
then,
try to fit that into our budget.
then the problem there is who's looking in the compactor to see what's in there for plastic before it gets compacted.
Right,
And if there's the
right.
wrong color in there, and then they refuse the whole bale, back to oops.
So I don't see on here when I was up there talking to the guys, and I don't know if it can be salvaged or whatever, but the forklift is in, it seems like it's leaking.
Right, we fixed the leak, that
Fix
was,
the leak? Okay.
so what they had done is they just hit a pallet or something, and there's a short line with a fitting on it that slides the fork side to side.
Yeah.
And it just hit that, so we just tightened that up for them. Last I knew, it wasn't leaking anymore.
Okay.
And if
I
it
did
is,
miss the
if
dump
it is,
this
it's a.
weekend.
if
The
it is-
recycling center, I missed the recycling center this
And,
weekend.
and the leak was really small.
Okay.
But, if it is still leaking, it's just a matter of changing the fitting.
So if we,
And the parking brake, we've addressed that situation,
okay,
adjusted it and explained to them that
on the backhoe.
They
on
just need some.
both,
Oh,
both.
okay,
They need some additional coaching.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, no, they got it now, I hope, I think.
okay,
Nope,
Yeah.
not as of today.
No, okay, then I gotta go back up.
okay. All right, and so I mean, I know that like we have,
Remedial training.
what, 5 assets up there. We have a couple of balers and we have a fork, I mean, the backhoe is up there, it's a communal asset, but I don't see, is any of that stuff hiding on CIP? Any balers at 8,000 or 10,000 or 15 or anything?
So the stuff on CIP for
Right, I mean, we,
2006 are the culverts and paving. So for 27, you got your traffic signs.
but nothing for the recycling center.
Right, no,
No
it's
doubt
just all
there needs
public
to be a
works.
baler on there sometime.
Well, if
It
we
should
need
be
to,
on the CIP plan.
Or,
need to add a baler on here at some point.
or some form of, we don't have
Doesn't need to be.
a baler
tomorrow,
capital reserve
next
fund
year,
or anything,
the year
but-
after
There, so there is a
10
there is an
years.
existing solid waste facility equipment capital reserve fund that has like $30 in it. We haven't
Sweet.
replenished it for several years, but that would be the ideal place to
Start.
start. We also do
$50 a
have-
year.
Sure, under the budget, when we start talking about stuff, right, we might wanna start
Putting these.
looking at, or even, is that something if we get to the end of the year and we have a few dollars left, can we
No,
assign, can't move it?
You cannot.
Oh, you can't.
We have
You
to-
can only
that's
add
gotta
to
be a
expendable
warrant.
trust funds and capital reserve fund through a warrant article.
Okay, you could eventually, you could potentially fund it through the unassigned balance for like 5,000.
Correct, absolutely, that is an option.
Whatever. I'm just thinking asset management, again, we don't have any long-term plan, and it's tough because we can say we're gonna keep doing this, but the solid waste total is a $370,000 line item. Saying that out loud.
It's not cheap.
All a highway is 870, so, you know, you kinda go through the different,
Of that total, $250,000 approximate is in our hauling cost to get rid of the
right,
the goods.
correct. So, I mean, trash ain't cheap and they're not even, where our line items for getting money back is going down, so that this isn't at you, this is kinda speaking to everybody, but we have no asset management here. We heard we got lucky with the wiring thing on a baler. After we got lucky and we were able to weld it back together, we do happen to have some kind of MacGyvers right now in our highway department that are fixing stuff, but that only goes so long.
At some point, you just gotta start thinking that we need to stop baling and probably buy a bigger compactor. And just compact it, haul it off instead of.
Or
Having like a second chute, like where the trash is, like that type of compactor, you mean?
Just a larger one.
I don't know what that is, or,
a truck and do our own hauling.
I mean, that's another line item with buying a truck and whoever the driver's gonna be, if it ends up being one of our highway staff, but
But if the biggest part of your budget is
Two hundred thousand is,
is trucking it, then
Right.
we buy a truck with a roll-off, and we truck it ourselves, and we buy a roll-off sander, and we put a plow frame on in front of it, and then I get another plow truck. And then that's one less hire truck I have to have, so we double duty that truck and one more driver.
Right, there's options, and
And a lot of
even,
towns have moved to that.
Yeah.
so, I mean, this is the point to talk about it, and that's like that seems like a warrant article I can pass on to people by saying, we're gonna do this, but when we do this, this is going to drastically eliminate a cost over here.
Mhm.
So that's why we're trying to spitball and get these thoughts out. I'm glad we're saying this now, but
Something we've been thinking about.
okay,
Um,
so get some numbers, and I don't care if, I mean, we've done pretty well on buying nicely used equipment to try to get us through and establishing things that I think, whatever, but $250,000 for hauling costs is
right,
a ton.
a lot.
It's a lot of money.
You can have a truck and pay it off in a
then
couple
you
of
need to
years
buy a
with a
compactor
man,
too.
and it's fuel and it's
You need to
expense.
buy, it's not just a truck, you need to buy a compactor as well.
Well, no, if you just stayed with the containers we had and we just trucked our containers,
He's just saying we just stop paying somebody else to haul our trash.
cause that's all the bill is for hauling.
So,
Well, hauling and probably container rental,
all right, I was gonna say, we'll probably have to either buy
purchase some
containers
containers.
or, I don't know what the used market on those containers is, but like the enclosed ones, they're pretty reasonable.
You're talking about the one that holds the trash, the solid waste one?
No, the regular, no, I'm just talking about like the
Storage.
the
Oh,
20,
the
the
shipping
20-foot shipping
containers.
container, those are cheap.
Convex.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have one holding the tires, we spent $2,000 on
right,
it.
but I don't know what the
The
market is
roll-off
for these.
containers, used roll-off containers that are decent are around to $4,000 or $5,000 a piece.
And they get beat
Right.
because.
But I'm saying decent ones, not, they're used, but they're not,
And I don't know what a new one costs either, so.
yeah, I don't know, that's just,
Big money.
No.
Yeah.
So just
Some
something to
stuff
think
for
about.
discussion.
Right.
Yeah.
And
And
they-
we do have
they-
New Hampshire the Beautiful to fall back on for some potential grant funding, but we need the project or the asset to initiate that.
Right, and then the other thing I threw out a couple of weeks ago was like, if we started processing our own plastic, what would that mean? But I know that's a way bigger project. But it's something that is a potential option.
When you say
Just-
processing our own plastic.
Basically, you pelletize it.
Oh, so you get rid of cause it's going to the purchaser buys our plastic, they're pelletizing it, and then they're shipping that
Right.
potentially
If we-
overseas if they do that.
Right.
That would be definitely a longer,
That's a much longer,
that's like a
bigger.
redesign the building.
Well, you don't even have the space at that current location.
When you win the lottery, you'd let me know about that, and you bring that.
Move to Smoke Street.
Said we got plenty of space.
Yeah, right.
So pretty much everything here, there's no fuel dues conference.
Some recycled asphalt out there, keep them guys.
I haven't yet. I have baled plastic kind of in the way.
I know.
I mean, yeah, so. But it's back to that, if we end up storing it, I have storage trailers at no charge, we can slide that stuff in and send it over to the pit. But it is supposed to be undercover. And they are starting to fall apart a little bit, sitting where they're sitting. But I got plenty of storage trailers, and I've already got one of mine over the pit with the mag in it and some other stuff. I think we're gonna put what's that called out front here, the golf thing?
Oh, the disc golf.
I think we're gonna put the disc golf in one of the trailers over.
Either that or I can just go over to the old fire station too. There should be room in front of the rec van.
Oh, okay,
It's just a matter of getting it over there. We need help, please.
well, I was waiting to be told when,
Okay.
but I never heard
It's
back.
not getting installed right, it's not getting
So-
installed before snow flies, so whenever.
I'd love to have it gone before we
Shouldn't
start
it be that
plowing.
time?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah,
move 'em
anything-
out. Can we move them out back too?
No. we
Budget.
could.
I'm not putting stuff back out there until we get it cleaned
Okay.
up the rest of the way.
Budget. Sorry.
So anything else in the solid waste? I mean,
Moving on.
We really spent, and I'm sure this isn't it, but we spend $3,000 a year for the phone over there? Is that phone,
And internet.
okay, which is what is used for the collection of, okay.
The credit card processing machine, which does not operate because it doesn't have enough bandwidth. So that's part of the,
That whole.
the Comcast is probably gonna go away up there because it's not really a feasible option. The
is
service up there is just awful.
Fidium an option?
Yes. So I've been working with Comcast to consolidate all of it, and by doing that, we get a better bulk government pricing, but it's taking longer than I was expecting. I was hoping it was gonna be rolled out by like the first quarter.
We missed that.
Things move a lot slower, especially when the reps change on a weekly basis.
Okay.
Like you can't call back and talk to the same person twice.
And you've got a decent staff working up there right now. What are we?
We have 3 regular part-time that are working 3.5 days a week,
Yeah.
and then 1 person that works.
It's on Saturdays. Okay.
They're very efficient. I was there on Saturday.
Yeah,
and it
they're,
was
they're
packed.
looking- yeah.
Yeah,
And the place is neatened up some, I mean,
And they
now
do a good job. I mean, I think when the traffic starts to back up, is they come out and just start helping people get stuff out of their cars more quickly.
yeah. Cool.
Any other questions for Steve? Thanks for coming in, and yeah, again, just follow up some more specific numbers as far as roads, paving,
Yep.
aprons, what that would cost, so we can start thinking about our warrant articles.
okay,
And if you really think this truck thing's an option, and you think that we would not have to come up with a number or something like that, if we can put it for hauling or whatever, if we think that's an option that we can do in the budget, cause we're not gonna be paying for trucking, but we need to have the real numbers of.
It's a good time to do it too, cause I think our contract, we just re-signed with Waste Management in 23, I believe, so that's a 3-year contract, so it'll be up for renewal next year.
So definitely let's,
alright,
Okay, this is a historic moment. This is the first time we have three Steves in the same room. Out not equal to all the other males.
We gotta get you some red suspenders.
Thank you again, have a good night.
alright, thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
I have to say Deerfield Road looks great. I'm very happy not to have crumbling in
Looks
front of
really
my,
nice driving up the
my
road.
driveway anymore.
All right, so
See you
on
first.
to action items from prior meetings. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Proposed warrant articles.
No, we kind of touched on that. Well, I was hoping the bulk of like the big warrant articles would come from him, but I was more or less looking for a recap from John since the CIP met just before, but there were no further adjustments.
Further adjustments.
So for 26, we're potentially looking at,
So the drone replacement comes from the police tech fund,
10,000.
that was like 17.5.
17.5.
What was that?
The drone replacement for the police
Yeah.
department.
Oh, I didn't hear the drone.
Oh, it's a
Drone.
replacement.
Drone replacement.
Is that different than the police tech?
What?
Police tech.
Is that different than a police tech? The drone.
Yeah, it's different than a police tech. It's a drone.
Is it
A drone.
Is it different? Well, no,
It's-
is that a different warrant article?
Yes,
No, well,
been funding the police technology fund.
right, the police technology fund, it would be the funding, but it would still be a warrant article, right?
Right, well, we have the warrant article to add to that fund. We would have to make sure there's sufficient funds to do that plus everything else.
Right,
Plus
yes.
the 10,000 they need for.
The body worn camera grant.
So the body
Other
worn
technology.
camera stuff, the new, well, there's stuff that's currently happening now, but the new stuff wouldn't be till 29 for that. So it's the drone replacement for this year. Tasers for 27, and then the MDTs, which are the computers, that's 28, and then the body worn cameras would be 29. And they all have pretty much 5-year life expectancies, so we kind of have things flowing, but you need to kind of,
So thinking specifically about 2026.
so
we get
26
the-
is the drones,
What
Okay.
else?
the drone.
In any other department?
So also in the police department, they're looking for doing some planning stuff for a station replacement. Engineering costs associated with that.
Same warrant article as 2024 is researching a site,
Yeah, I would assume it would be similar to that,
so about 40,000.
40,000. All right, fire and rescue. The SCBA compressor replacement.
But that comes out of the capital.
That comes out of the capital reserve, so we would just wanna make sure that we replenish the capital reserve. That's 40,000. So, for public works, we have the two items being culvert replacement and asphalt road maintenance and reconstruction.
Which we just discussed.
Right, so we just,
What are the line items for those?
so there's like 800,000 for culvert and 600,000 for road construction, reconstruction.
So that's the way, we used to have it split 50-50 between the operating and the
Right.
warrant article, and then it
Mhm.
got reduced and reduced further.
Right.
So now it's just a lone survivor as a warrant article for the most part.
But these numbers don't even make sense, right?
No.
They were original, they were as originally submitted by the prior public works director, so that was based on having the design and a third party come in and
Do everything.
instruct them.
Right.
So
So,
Yeah.
as Steve said tonight, he can't pull together the facts and figures of how much that box culvert will be in the materials without the finalized design, so. Those
So
are
there's-
subject to amendment, and that's, you know, just throwing a guess out there, he was thinking at least half could reduce it
right,
by doing it in-house with our crew and some subcontracted.
And then paving, same thing, we gotta come up with.
Yeah, that's the question, I mean, do you proceed with some paving, or
Right.
do you focus on the box culvert?
right.
Well, I think-
And or some split.
I think one big thing that he had mentioned is the entranceway to the fire department, that definitely needs to be repaired. Bit embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a dirt road there too.
No,
That's
dirt.
Reese Road, but the physical.
Oh,
entrance
the other
to
side
fire
is,
It's
The actual fire department driveway,
okay, that's nasty.
but then the aprons, that, you know, how much would it be for
Right.
aprons? Do you do, 4 roads this year and the aprons?
Yeah,
So I just think we need costs for these different things before we come up with
Yeah.
a number.
mm-hmm.
What else do you have?
So the library's got the air conditioner furnace replacement,
Which we took care of the furnace,
took care of that,
or
but
at least one.
part of it. And actually, it just still says placeholder there, so why do I not have, I thought it was, maybe I shared the wrong document. And of course, they wanna repave the parking lot,
They wanna finish their redesign, right?
right, so
We did
that's,
the engineering for it and we
We only
didn't.
got so far.
Right.
The original horseshoe they were trying to accomplish couldn't be done with, well,
then we
I
got
think
the
it could
second.
be done.
Yeah.
but
yeah, but Steve, right, Steve thinks it can still be done.
It can still be done because when they replaced the leach field, they made it so that it
Forced,
could,
right?
yeah, you could actually drive over it.
Right,
Matter of curbing.
purchasing the curbing to outline.
Well, no, it could be done with asphalt curb as well. It's just a matter of doing curbing to focus the, runoff.
I thought it was a tank is why we couldn't do it.
I thought that's what.
Right, right, but he
Not
said,
that-
he
But
said
But you can't drive
about,
over.
huh?
So-
No, he said
The leach
that
field
there's
tank
room
is further
there.
back.
to do it, but you'd have to do some curbing because of the runoff,
They,
so.
yeah, originally they didn't think they could put the parking over that, but Steve has said otherwise. And it's reinforced, so.
The design we went with was to be drivable, so that because the U-shaped design kinda has to keep moving, because the exit from the library is
Right, I
line of
realized that.
sight in the wrong spot, yeah.
Then we had problems with the tank, they had to hammer some spots to get that tank in, and
But they did that.
I thought that was still in the way, but if it isn't, all.
Yeah.
Let's
I
not
don't
spend
think so.
any more
I
time.
think it
Confusion
is
about that
further
thing.
back, and that's why we ran into ledge where we didn't before.
I mean, do we need to do much more engineering, or does it just, we need?
I thought it was just paving.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
paving, and
it's
they
just-
wanna put parking lot lights and just make sure that it's well illuminated.
Well,
So
let's
that was
focus on
another
what we need
cost.
to do. I mean, the paving would be the first part, and then maybe in a future year, we do lights. But
No, you need to make sure
Yeah,
that like your
yeah.
conduits and everything underground, you don't wanna
Right.
be ripping up brand new pavement. You wanna
But
plan
I'm
for that ahead of time.
yes, but if it was even Steve that's prepping the ground
Right.
we can put the conduit there, and then the future year, we ask for the poles and the lights, which is the expensive part. The conduit's not. If we have a rough plan, we should be able to, we kind of leverage our highway department a lot because they have the experience. We're giving them the tools we have, and it's the only thing that we can do to get through these projects.
Yep.
in
Yeah.
any form sense of this 4%.
Yep.
So
Do
I
we
would,
have a number for the paving or for the
I
AC?
have 78.7 for the total, for the part,
Paving and
paving
lighting.
and lighting.
Is
And
that
I
a good number, or is that
believe-
just shooting off your hip?
I
No,
believe,
it's
no,
supposed to
that,
be a
that
pretty
was the
good
number
number.
that was submitted, and I believe that covers not only the existing library parking lot, but
Yeah.
the
Right.
other lot.
Okay.
It covers
Oh, good.
both lots.
The dirt-
Yeah,
the
whole
current
lot.
dirt.
It's a real
lot.
safety
Is that the
issue,
lighting
I
for the
think, too.
parking lot?
And the paving.
Is that the lighting for the parking lot?
And the
Wait,
paving.
Yes,
Paving.
lighting and paving.
Okay.
And then the AC for the library?
That is up for,
Number.
we have to pull together an RFP because based on the preliminary quotes that I got from the two vendors, it exceeds our purchasing policy threshold, so we have to put it out for competitive bidding, so
That's right there.
I'm gonna work with Steve on that. I just voluntold you.
I got somebody else coming to give us a quote too.
So we just, we have to pull together the specifics. We obviously took care of the furnace replacement a couple weeks ago, so that got taken care of. Again, you know, the AC is not an issue right now, but
And you
It
need a
will
whole
be.
new condenser for the AC, or a whole new system? or-
there's 3 units over there and at least, I think it's
There's
just the
3?
one unit that, we replaced we replaced the condenser 2 years ago on one of the units, so I think this is another unit.
And then what else do you have?
So, rec has 50,000 for a van, but that would be out of the rec revolving fund.
Was it, how much?
50,000 for a van, but that would come out of the rec revolving fund.
A van,
Van?
Van!
like
You
your
know,
van you
A
drive.
van.
V.
Van, I'm sorry. I heard van.
Pupil transportation.
Transportation.
A bus.
I wish we could
Minibus.
get closed captioning for Steve.
So let me turn the speakers off.
Sometimes I need close.
So then, administration, we have AC replacement, there's 30,000 there, but that's probably up for debate.
Yeah.
Audio visual equipment update, there's 20,000, but that's the cable franchise fund,
How much?
20,000. Software for the accounting, we have 30,000 there, and that's a warrant article.
How much?
30,000. And that is all of 26.
So in addition, the normal warrant articles that we typically would submit,
Funding.
what's that?
Yeah.
For the fire vehicle, SCBA 30,000. The ambulance is 40,000, but that's a offset. But police tech funding $10,000.
Right, and I'm wondering if some of these, based on what's here, 10,000 isn't gonna cut it for the police tech funding.
Well, no, this is just to
To
Like the
refill.
recurring.
Refill. right?
to
Right.
keep replacing it. So
Right.
do
I
we
know.
not replace the 17, just take the 17,000 out and not fund it next year, or I guess that's.
Well, right, that's the idea, if we kind of just make sure there's enough funding in it,
Okay.
because we got 17.5 next year, 50,000 the following year, 28, 136 in 2028.
I think Fawn put it in there with the caveat that she would try to use the tech fund as long as she had the funds available, but the purpose of that fund is to take care of their technology needs as something needs to be replaced. You know, if something happens with a cruiser and we're replacing an MDT sooner than the 5-year replacement, then that's the purpose of having it there. So as much as she would like to be able to make some of those purchases happen, it is going to be based on other needs and priorities as well. And I think the committee was like, oh, there's funds available that won't require
Yeah,
a warrant article or other means of raising by taxation, so let's go that route, but I don't necessarily know that it could cover all of those.
Right.
yeah,
It'll
that's,
eventually be exhausted.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, the 10,000 won't
Yeah.
cover
No.
all that.
Right.
If we only put 10,000 in a year.
But maybe they don't get a drone this year.
Yeah, the body worn camera grant consumes $5,000 to $6,000 of that a year, so it's already half depleted on an annual basis.
Yep.
It's just not enough.
And then highway truck reserve, we usually replenish replenish that fund. Last year we did 70,000, and obviously we exhausted a lot of the funds that are in there for the grader. Building reserve fund, we did $18,000 last year. Invasive species, $10,000. So those are the other ones that are typical
Fire
standard warrant
department.
items.
Yeah, truck fund
yeah.
for that.
Oh yeah, that was $30,000 for fire vehicle SCBA.
Right, so the SCBA is included in that together, so that's why we can pull the SCBA stuff out of that.
But then we need to look down the road a couple of years when we're talking about replacing potentially an engine.
An engine, so we have an engine on the list
Should be the tanker
for
coming next.
28,
Nobody buys tankers anymore.
I'm sorry, 29, and it's
$1
$1 million.
That's if
Bigger
we had to
tank on
replace
an
engine
you
too.
can on a
That's
tanker.
what Matt said, yeah. It's like the,
Yes, engine 3 holds 4,000 gallons, which is more than the tanker.
Right.
But it was made clear that the tanker actually has a holding for the, when they do the tanker daisy chain, they don't have a way to carry that. The tankers are designed to hold the excess suction, pools, where they dump off the tanker into a pool and then that next tanker is taking a
Temporary
suction.
tank, but they could put that on another truck.
Not designed for it currently. So maybe the next one will, but that's just, they were talking about that before.
So I think we need to do some math here and balance out
Yeah.
withdrawals and
I think
replenishments.
probably the best way to do it now, like I said, that the CIP is at their pretty close to final stage where it's gonna be presented to the budget committee, and you will pull out the proposal for 26 along with what we've been funding in the
Yeah.
past, just.
Do we have any semblance of a number? Like what, if we were to do all of those in the budget and everything, what that line item is compared to, like, are we like, I just feel like all the numbers are huge
Oh,
right now.
Yeah, it's way, it's
Absolutely.
none of, no, this is all, that's why we need
Are we
numbers and
even
then we have to whittle
remotely
down.
close to a 4%?
No.
Are we somewhere in the stratosphere here? Huh?
8.
Everything
If
to,
you're adding all of this up, I'm guessing you're close to 8.
which you're better with
Probably
just,
even higher than that,
I
actually.
mean, this one here
Is 8.2.
is 8.
this
So that's why I'm
is
just
8,
like,
just this is 8.
Warrant article to get rid of the.
it's just when we're going through these CIPs and stuff and we're listening to people be like, oh, I want stuff, like, I don't know why we're listening. I'd be like, nope. Pick you-
It's great to plan, but when you're restricted to.
But then we're
funds
not,
available.
but then we're not planning, because our number is
The-
wrong to begin with, so that when we start looking, that your 6-year plan or 10-year plan becomes dysfunctional very quickly.
Right, the idea is to put it on there so that you know what you need to look to do. And
Get creative.
right, that's like, if we just say, we don't need anything,
Wow.
you know, or, we'll never replace a fire truck again, you know, how's that gonna happen?
It's not.
Right.
That's
And
why
so, I
people
mean,
gotta realize that by
like-
this 4% tax cap,
Right,
we're just kicking a can down the road.
Yeah.
At some
Oh,
point,
yeah.
it's gonna just bite us right in the backside, and
But when it has been presented to change it or remove it, it's been shot down, so that's what they want, so we have to operate within that. I'm just saying, as we get to the different committees,
yeah,
if we overload our plate to begin with, one, we're taking food or thoughts away from other people, and then we're just throwing it away, because we've loaded it all up and somebody didn't ask for something that might have been important, and we're just saying, here it is, and then you like running through this stuff, or we gotta get smart with how are we going to do it, so that this library parking becomes a $30,000 paving job, and we cut the lights out for another year, and we just pave it, so we get rid of the immediate hazard, because we don't have lights, and then,
and a road doesn't happen, you know, or
and
something.
we definitely, the 800 and the 600,000 is gonna be combined into one thing and have to be cut down to what we can manage. That's an
Right.
easy number to cut down.
So I think we need to get some fine
Yeah,
tuned numbers.
that's what I was asking. I was like, there was a ton of numbers. I'm like,
That's why we're
Yeah.
starting this conversation so much sooner than normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's the CIP is just a tool
Mhm.
to help us
Plan.
look at these things.
Long-term plan.
Some of that stuff too, I would be asking like real, you know, like the police have a lot of requests there. Now, their requests are not very expensive requests, they're quasi-expensive requests, but
Can they fund it someplace else? Is there a grant available? Can they write a grant?
cool.
All right, so we'll continue the discussion about the warrant articles as we get more fine-tuned numbers. Heating oil and propane supply bids, I believe we had 2 bids come in.
Correct.
Did you have to pull teeth to get them?
No, I didn't actually,
Just, we had absolutely nothing when you were gone.
unfortunately, the 2 vendors that did actually submit a bid on time, sent them directly to my email, which didn't really meet the bidding requirements or the specifications of my bid request. So I ignored the fact of them providing pricing that would have been valid just for that one day, and I reached out to them and I said, you are meeting again on November 3rd, if they could provide pricing that would be valid for today for you to consider.
So I'll read them.
And
So,
And I got 2.
yeah, we got 2, one from Dead River.
did they keep the pricing?
I don't know, I didn't look at the prior,
For propane,
because it wouldn't have been valid beyond that, you would have had to accept it by midnight that night.
so from Dead River for propane, projecting us using 11,270 gallons at $1.58.9. And then for heating oil, projecting us using 9,300 gallons at $2.729. And then diesel at the $3.99 today with a 40-cent margin.
What's that mean?
40 cents over rack, maybe?
Right?
No, is that what that means? Okay.
Yeah.
Should say that if that's what they
Yeah.
meant.
Yeah, alright. Yeah,
Then I'll
that's
read
why I had to ask. I mean, I guess that would make sense that that's what that would mean.
I think there's more explanation of it in item 5 of the.
That's Irving.
Right, but I'm just saying, they explained kind of the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah, they do.
Variable diesel pricing.
Yeah.
I'll let Tim read.
Yeah, so it's within that price. And then for Irving, fixed heating oil,
Irving? Irving?
Irving,
Thank you.
for fixed heating oil, $2.67607 a gallon. And fixed propane for $1.39.2 a gallon. And diesel at $2.8877 a gallon.
So one thing I'm noticing here, Ellen, do you have how many gallons of heating oil we use?
Yes, and that was included on the RFP. I think they actually quoted. Number 2 heating oil, we used approximate, this is November 1st through October 3rd. 5,700 gallons, and propane was 11,270.
So, I don't know
I
why,
had provided that
Dead River
information to them
projected.
But they
No,
quoted
but-
like double the usage.
Yeah.
Dead River put us at 9,300 gallons is what
For
their
heating oil.
bid is set for, but their propane's set for 11,270. I was just curious about that because the Irving says 5,700 gallons of heating oil, but Dead River says 9,300 gallons. And then I guess my other question, Ellen, what is this diesel for? Because we pay the other company for the fuel tank.
So we have the fuel cube over at the Smoke Street Pit, but we do, we use diesel up at the recycling center. There's a tank up there.
So this is the heating diesel that is in excess of what we gather in for waste oil
Yes,
to heat the recycling center.
correct.
Not for trucks driving on the road. That's a different contract through
Correct.
heat.
So why wouldn't we use heating oil then instead of diesel?
Because the building,
It's stored outside, so you need the diesel. Needs to be off-road diesel, not on-road. Cause it's not in a
Right.
I think diesel's cheaper than kerosene, is it?
Well, diesel's just a blend of two oil and kerosene. That's all diesel is.
Winter blend.
Right. We could get dyed fuel at the recycling center, and when they need the fuel for the building, they use it when they don't have enough waste oil.
And I believe so, the off-road diesel is also used in the,
The backhoe, whatever, it's the tank outside the building.
yeah, it's a 500-gallon tank.
Yes.
Is that plumbed through the building into the thing?
No.
Is it?
It's not?
Oh,
I don't
no, it's a
think so.
hand pump.
They have to,
We'll talk about that later.
but it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so
It has
going
no
on-
bearing on anything.
I mean,
I'm just
obviously,
making sure I'm understanding what the bid's for, but why, so with the Irving bid, at 5,700 gallons meets the needs
Mhm.
of the town. I don't understand why theirs says 9,300 gallons over here.
At any rate, they're giving us a cheaper price.
it's cheaper
less-
for,
Giving us
less
a-
gallons.
Irving.
for all three.
Correct.
Um,
And we're currently with Irving?
We're currently
I'm
with Irving.
confused at the what's the rack markup for Irving?
They don't have a rack markup. Let me see that.
So if Dead River has a 40-cent markup,
Only for diesel.
right, so under number 5, which is the diesel price, just says rack fluctuates daily,
Yeah.
but it doesn't say the margin amount.
It just says it won't change.
Right. Whatever that margin is.
Then there's a little bit
There's a
added,
missing margin.
number
that won't
7 as
change.
well. Irving adds in a little bit, but it still is less than Dead River.
I mean, it sounds like it would be less, assuming that the diesel price on November 3rd was $288.77, and this was whatever day this was written. This would be close to that same day.
Doesn't
Was
say.
$3.09.9.
I mean, there's several things in here noted on the Irving thing that if you even happen to look at number 6, Irving would also offer the
Yeah.
employees of the town of Nottingham discounted pricing for their homes. The town would be 10 cents off residential posted price for number 2 or 15 off propane, but just saying the pricing's cheaper.
And they offer a little,
And we're already in
Well-
contract with them, and we don't have to get an additional tank inspection, which could just potentially lead to problems that we don't wanna go down.
But that's a good thing to point out,
It's a potential
right,
benefit
to,
to the employees of the town.
And I will say that and I'm looking back through to their Dead River's original submittal from October 20th, and they also offered a employee program, but he didn't include it with the updated pricing.
Okay.
bottom line is it's just-
Does anybody have any other debate on this? I mean, it seems about the same.
Yeah, you're saving money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
just go with the cheapest.
Right,
I
it's
mean,
who we've
there's
been
no-
using, the service has been good, Alan.
Yes, yeah, we've had no issue with Irving.
So I'll make the motion to continue into contract with Irving
Enter a new
Fuel.
contract.
Enter a new contract, thank you. Commencing December 1st, 2025 through November 30th, 2026.
Got a motion?
Second that,
I heard Charlotte first,
Yeah.
second. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
right,
Just for
Can't come out of that.
point of clarification, the contract should actually start November 1 because
2 days ago.
it'll have to
It'll
start
start.
today. Because we're technically not contracted right now, our contract expired October 31st.
we'll start
That's why it
next
was on the plan
delivery.
for last.
We'll start next delivery.
And number 5 does say November 1st,
Yeah, it
October
does.
31st.
Right,
They're just
so, yeah,
as
I,
confused as we are. Good.
They didn't fix that. They fixed the top part to match up. Do I need to say anything? I can't enter into a contract for 2 days ago, can I?
So we just wanna clarify.
I still want to say something. The top says one, but the
Right.
bottom says,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we didn't get the thing during the bid window. And so like we're technically out of, but if we recommence this one, so I will revise my motion to enter into a new contract with Irving Oil based on their offer from November 1st, 2025 to October 31st, 2026.
Still second that.
Motion and a second to the amended motion.
I will still say aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Action items from last meetings. Take it there's still no update on Mendel Road. That's going to be longer process than we thought. Or as long as we thought. John, any updates on the select board role in the
Oh, yes. So,
process for subdivision?
as I was reading the minutes, I'm like, oh darn, I need to do that. So I
Tick,
did,
tick,
I did
tick.
send an email to Dale today, so.
That's the action items for
I
our next
knew this
meeting.
was gonna happen
Thank you.
despite my nagging.
No, thank you. I'm like reading
It
the
was
minutes
still
and
before
like,
December.
there you go. There's your
Barely.
reminder.
We're,
The actions for, the subdivision plan.
The formula, right.
Right, that,
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah. I remember that.
And then update on e-bikes.
Yes, so I did provide you, the police department was kind enough to pull together the state statutes and just a little scenario there on electric bicycles in New Hampshire. There are 3 classes. Classes by category is what I mean.
I learned about that at work last week.
I haven't started to draft up any type of proposal, or I didn't know if you just wanted to move forward with maybe just putting signage up. So, I mean, based on this information, we could kind of formulate our own policy, or we can go just the sign route and just say, one of the things that Chris Alvarez had suggested is, Corporal Alvarez had suggested is maybe just putting on the signs, no wheeled vehicles, and like, with the exception of ADA, obviously, compliance, so,
And strollers.
and strollers.
Yeah, I think you're just gonna get yourself into
semantics.
no bikes / e-bikes if you're worried about them being in the one thing, but I didn't see it being a persistent problem. Like it was like a small group of individuals who were said, please don't come up here. And then are we making a cost? Are we doing something that is still in infancy of its knowledge space of where people can go?
Well, I think the point was if we just put signs up so that they aren't riding their bikes in the fields, at least for now,
On the fields and then the walkway,
on the walkway.
We just have a lot of signs.
we do.
I know. and it's
Watch
getting-
out for fly balls. Don't park here. Enter here.
Hey.
Do not enter here. Do not smoke here. Do not do it. And I'm just like,
And then people
Is
don't
this-
see them anymore.
Nobody reads them.
I know, and then people just don't see them.
and then are we saying regular bicycles aren't allowed through here, but e-bikes are? Or I'm saying vice
I
versa.
think it would be both.
Right.
I think that was
then-
her intent, right?
I don't see it as being a huge. I'm still not. I feel like this is still in the realm of one. We're not really enforcing anything because it's still new even for the police. I mean, I don't think they're doing anything.
Well, it's not enforcement, it's just guidance at this point, because we're not developing a policy. We're just, Courtney's requesting. I think it's especially an issue during the summertime for her during her program. Is
Right,
that
and that's the only thing, I mean, we can push this till next spring.
But then can we put up a sign if there's no policy? Like we put up no smoking signs because there's a no smoking policy. I'm just asking.
we don't have a no fly ball rule policy though.
That you were just being nice for insurance companies for that one.
Well, just sort of covering her.
Just asking, it just seems overly maybe stretching or reaching, or if we think this, whatever. I mean, wouldn't think that we would order these and put these up before.
I do have
Spring.
a very general pamphlet that Fawn provided me that we can put up on the website. It's just an informational type thing.
Okay.
but it's not going
I
to
mean, if we really
address
feel we can
what
put like
Courtney
one
was looking
sign, but then
for.
it's gonna be like, well, you're not really seeing it here, so then we end up with just like a lot of extra signs that I think just detracts from the murals and everything else that we've done, so it's like, where do you start putting them? And it's just, I just seeing it being, I get the point, and I just wanna have her more be like, I'm having a problem. I'm gonna make a friendly notice to the police department that's sitting next to me, and they can come out and talk to the kids, be like, hey, kids, you're not supposed to be riding your bikes here.
But the police can't enforce that type of thing, that's not in there.
If they're riding a certain bike that's in the wrong class and they're in an area where they're not supposed to be on the trail.
Right, but then, I guess the tough thing with that is then, is the rec department stopping them and inspecting their battery to see if it's over 750 watts, and then saying,
Yeah.
okay, you're gonna go call the police over. The police can only enforce laws.
That's correct. And I just don't see, I feel like this is more like a, hey, guys, you know, generally speaking, she tries not to have extra people in the area while she's holding summer, but at the same point, like, we can't isolate it, and I just, kids riding bikes to the playground used to be like a fundamental thing they would do, so maybe if we don't have, do we have a bike rack somewhere?
I think there used to be one out
We should have
in front, but I don't know where it
So
went.
like, we don't have a bike rack, so it's like, where do I stop my said bike?
I have
If
no-
you don't have a place to stop it, then people just ride it to where they're going.
Yeah.
I hear the thing a little bit, but I feel like, again, it was like one group of kids that were being like, please don't ride your bikes over here while we're doing stuff. If it was really, I think they were, when we got the new pavement, right, they thought that was fun through there. I don't know. Please, somebody else speak up if you think we should do signs. This is not Matt's show. Like, I see what you're saying. I'm going back and forth. I'm just like, it's just signs. The state has laws for it.
Well, yeah, but the state laws are so broad,
They are.
Right.
and it's not for.
It's more on-road use
Right.
and,
Right, and then helmet
And I think that
required.
could all change in the next 6 months. My suggestion would be to wait until
Till spring-ish.
spring, and then we'll deal with this
I can
issue at
just,
that
I can
point.
throw it in the potential or pending policy folder. to take a
I would
look.
just make sure you revisit it, cause I think she's going to run into the same problem.
Mhm.
And if she doesn't have something to back her up, it's kinda hard to tell kids not to do something when.
Right,
Why?
right, I mean,
Say I
yes,
can't.
I agree
Right.
that we don't want,
I just wanna know more, is it two particular kids who keep coming to see two particular kids here at the facility, and they're just like, oh, my buddy's hanging out at summer camp, I'm gonna go see him, so it's not like a town-wide issue. It's just two kids, one's at summer camp and one's not, one's coming to see his buddy, and it's more like, let's talk to the parents of this kid, be like, hey, we really shouldn't have him be here, or something like that. I don't know,
The whole scenario.
it's cause I think I know all the kids that are doing this. I will try my
Yeah, putting
best.
something up on the website and maybe getting the school to put something up too, so parents are aware. I don't know, I hate to put up more signs. I mean, we could put them everywhere and they're still,
It just, we have a lot
I
of
know,
signs for
I know,
rural,
I
I
know.
don't, that's just me.
and are they
Talking about
seen
that,
by the kids who are right there? I don't know.
What?
talking about the master plan and the vision of the community.
I know.
Yeah.
Signs probably are not it.
I know, and they are popping up everywhere. But I guess
So
Courtney's dilemma.
what else, what would the other options be to support the rec department's needs of asking people not to ride their bikes on the fields, especially during.
Spike strips.
We have to pay. But
Pit traps.
what, was it a lot of times, do we know?
Yes.
There were a couple of times,
Just a handful of times.
actually after summer camp was pretty much wrapped up, like you just
Oh,
see
they're
them
just-
whipping by
yeah.
down the walkway.
And I imagine she sees it as a problem that
Yeah.
will only
And the other
escalate.
Oh, I
concern
see what you're
was the
saying, there was
fields.
people just riding by,
Yeah,
just because there's a nice new paved walkway,
Yes.
zipping around.
yes. It's like the people who like to lay down tracks on the asphalt.
They can probably get air off the park, that.
The ADA turn there,
Maybe we could put stuff on the website and the newsletter, PTA site and stuff. I don't know.
But again, what,
I-
put what?
I-
Right, so that's my
Please
only
be
point.
considerate. Don't ruin our.
I'm just trying to think, I'm not trying to say that she doesn't have a valid,
Yeah, it's definitely a problem.
Alright, so kick the can to March.
think
We
we
don't
got
wanna
enough to
do
worry
that.
about.
We don't wanna do that. We don't wanna do that. It's the only answer to
The only thing,
signs.
we didn't vote on was the investment policy.
Oh.
We do have to sign, it's been like 6 weeks now,
And it's
because we
been,
we didn't have it, so,
all right, and it's exactly the same.
yeah.
I did make one more
2004.
change to
Oh,
it
you did?
because,
Oh.
yes, I had to change October for the date of signing to
Oh.
November.
Oh, okay.
Nothing,
But otherwise, it's the same
nothing
document.
critical to
Material.
the.
Yeah, no, the only
right.
other, the only other material change in there was just the select board membership.
Yeah.
There was no content change.
But the verbiage is still, yeah.
So do you have a motion to approve the investment policy?
I'll make a motion to approve the investment policy.
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That one. Yay.
Municipal rentals, I think you're still doing some digging on that.
Correct. I'll work on that policy, so I will keep that on there as ongoing discussion.
Any public comment?
Yes. I invite members of the board to participate in the executive state program on November 11th at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
And I would like to first of all, compliment the board on the work you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
And third is I want to invite you all to the annual food pantry concert on November 9th at the community church at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We have a dynamite program of Nice and Naughty, Tom Duffy, Cynthia Chez, and Bob Moore, and another group called Nick and Sharon. So these are really talented people, and it produces money for the food pantry. So this is all it's doing.
I bet you'll get a good turnout.
I hope.
Do we need a motion?
For the MS 535, yes, I would like one on record, please.
I make a motion to sign the MS 535 financial report of the budget
Year ending 2024.
for the year ending December 31st, 2024.
Got a motion?
Second.
A second, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
We probably need
Those part.
a motion also for expenditure of $250 out of the,
Oh, would you like to
Price
make a
and
formal
tenure.
request?
yes, I think we need to.
If you'd like $250, you do.
That's right. So I request withdrawal from the Nottingham Celebrate Fund for the amount of $250 for the purpose of, what's she doing?
Restoring.
The World War II.
World War II War Monument.
Yep. Got a motion?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve, for remembering that.
Just to make that legal.
Thanks.
Do we have non-public tonight?
Negative.
All right, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Motion,
It's my favorite
Sorry.
motion.
I know.
I'll
Jumped the
second.
gun.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, good night Nottingham.